Hey guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are watching Season 3, Episode 4 of Battlestar Galactica. This is part 2 of the two-part episode, Exodus. And yeah, I initially intended to watch these both on the same day, just a few hours apart, but unfortunately I got really busy. And then I got a little bit sick, and yeah, it's been a few days. But I hope that you guys are okay with that. I still remember everything from the previous episode. I honestly felt like the previous episode ended in a good place to pick up for another episode in like a day, a week, whatever. One of your comments on Patreon, I think, said that you had to wait months between it. I could be wrong about that, though. I could have read that incorrectly. Sorry. Anyway, like I said, I am a little bit sick, so I'm sorry if I cough or sniffle during this. Can't really be helped. Okay, so the last episode, Exodus Part 1, sort of showed us the beginning of the humans getting off of New Caprica, right? We had a really cool storyline with 3 and Sharon's baby, who Sharon now knows is alive, but she doesn't believe because she trusts Adama, which like stresses me out a lot because as much as I love their budding, growing friendship, I really think that it could be very much destroyed by this knowledge, which, you know, would be understandable. We also have, well, my worry is also that Starbuck and Gaius are going to be left behind. I don't really see how Gaius could escape with everyone else. I don't think he would be welcome to escape with everyone else, given, you know, what's happened. However fair or unfair I think that is to him. Starbuck is literally trapped in basically a prison, so I don't know how she's gonna get out. But I really hope that somehow she gets out, because like I need Starbuck with everybody else, you know? So yeah, that's sort of where we left off. We're mounting a rescue. There was a whole prophecy, kind of. She was an oracle that 3 had. It doesn't seem like things go good. Sharon's baby might get left behind for the Cylons in 3. Like, you know, what happens is to be determined. But once I click play, I guess it's determined. So let's just see.
I'm having trouble accepting this.
But we have to push forward, keep the fleet together, find Earth.
Right, that's our duty.
There's still a chance they'll come back. Your father has pulled off more than a few miracles in his day.
Way more than a few.
Yet I haven't given up hope.
Yes, you have.
I think he gave up hope a long time ago.
Not that easy to read.
I'm honestly, yes.
Just to me.
No, not just to her. I think to anyone.
He's not coming back from this. None of them are.
No, they will. I have faith.
We have to survive.
Okay, but he's also allowed to
We have to
grieve
find her.
if that is
If
true.
we don't, there'll be no one to remember a man named William Adelman. Or a Battlestar named Galactica.
I mean, Lee will remember.
To keep humanity going.
Yeah.
No matter what the cost, no matter who we leave behind.
You can do this.
That's not who Lee wants to be, though.
And you will do it, no matter the cost.
That's not a good way to live.
Did I ever tell you how proud I am to serve with you? Well, I am proud to serve with you, Lieutenant, and to call you my wife.
I still disagree with that whole line of thinking, but...
If Sharon had been killed, not only would we not get the launch keys, but the Cylons would know that we were in direct contact with Galactica. The fate of this whole city would have fallen apart. Do you understand that, Colonel?
I get it.
But it's still his wife.
Good. You know what has to be done here.
What?
And you don't want to do it. I understand, but believe me, Colonel, someone is gonna do this.
What has to be done? Excuse
Now, it
me.
would be better for her sake if it was you.
Anders, I do not like the way you're talking. I do not think that I feel like he's saying she has to die, but like, the thing is, it's so easy when it's somebody else's loved one, right? If that was Kara, would he so easily be like, this is what has to be done, regardless of the consequences? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that what she did was okay. I'm not saying that she should not face some sort of repercussions from that. I'm saying it's easier to see the situation in black and white when you're not in the middle of the situation. Like, it doesn't directly affect you personally, emotionally, in a devastating way.
I had to do it, Saul. It was all for you.
You know, Ellen, in this one instance, I understand.
I would have done anything to save you.
I know. It's all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
You don't understand.
Is she gonna tell the whole truth?
I got you out of detention, Saul. I went to see them, the Cylons,
And I don't know that this is your best play.
and I got him to notice me the way men notice me. I slept with him
Yeah, I think...
to save you, Saul. I'd do it again. Frack anybody. Do anything. Even give him a map.
I don't know how he's supposed to process that when this, like, maybe that could have waited. I mean, maybe there's not a waiting. I don't know, but...
I could use the drink.
Is it poison? Confused as to why he's
You've always been there for me when I need you.
making that face.
I feel like I could just curl up here. Should have listened to you, Saul. Should have stayed on Galactica.
Don't worry about any of that now. You just go to sleep.
Was it poison?
I love you. You hear me?
Or was it something else? Was that poison? I don't really know how to feel about that.
What would you have us do, Gaius?
Leave. Pack up your Centaurians and go. Please.
And then what?
Leave humanity alone?
You'd live out your lives in peace and never trouble yourself with thoughts of us again? Or would you raise your children with stories of the Cylon, the mechanical slaves who once did your bidding only to turn against you? Killers who committed genocide against your race.
I mean, it's not...
The occupiers of this city until we just ran away.
But that's true.
Would you tell them to tell a story to their children and nurse a dream of vengeance down through the years so that one day they could just go out into the stars and hunt the Cylon once more?
But it's true. Maybe if you had like changed the narrative, then that wouldn't be the narrative.
Blood for blood. That's to stop one day.
Have you considered that?
Oh my gods.
What? This is part of their plan.
Nice job, Anders.
Okay, yeah.
Get them to their ship. Go!
Well, based off that one vision, I don't know if they're gonna make it to the ship.
Get to the detention center. We do not stop until everybody is out of there free. Everybody knows their entry points. Let's load up and we move right now.
Go. You should also, I don't know if she's in the detention center, but you should go to the place where Starbuck is as well, because, like, we gotta rescue her. We gotta get her.
2 Battlestars just jumped into orbit. Adama's back.
Yep. He sure fucking is.
What's going on?
Surgeons, I'll be back.
Cannot think was trapped in here.
Safest for you here.
No!
Yeah, kill him. Oh my god, no. Bitch. I can't wait for you to die. Hopefully a real fucking death.
Hey, you're on Galactica, right?
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
No, it's okay. Keep an eye on her, all right? Don't let her out of your sight. Go!
Spaceships just closed on the Battlestar target. There's no Galactica, no Pegasus. Drones. Decoys.
Where's Galactica?
He was not privy to military information, so he has no fucking idea. Cylons really bet on the wrong horse when they bet on Gaius, huh?
Altitude 99,000, falling like a rock.
That would be a nerve-wracking fucking thing. Yeah, that's one way to do it. I wonder if he just put Ellen to sleep and then he's just gonna leave her there because that's like a better option for him than killing her. Like, I'm curious. Like, giving her a chance, however slim at life.
Fire in the hole!
Yay. Where is Starbuck? Where is Starbuck? We gotta find Starbuck. We gotta find Starbuck. Is that her? Yes! I can't believe you found her. That's okay. No, she's okay. She's okay. See, you're not gonna find Casey, I'm assuming? That's gonna be an interesting conversation later.
If we can draw the two base stars away from the planet, the colonists might be able to escape.
Hang on. 2 more base ships just jumped into orbit. We got 4 base ships out there.
We can't hold off war.
Oh no. Maybe Lee will make a different choice. Maybe Lee will make a different choice. Maybe Lee will come and help them. Maybe Lee will come and help them. You're fucking Adama's son, Lee.
Up the cord!
You don't have to make the same choice your dad did. In this case, do make the same choice, though.
We're looking at explosive decompression section 36 through 48.
Jump drives!
Lee, I'm gonna need you to be the Lee Adama that I know that you are. Okay?
Then that's it.
It's been an honor.
No, it's not ending like this. Nope, I have faith in Lee. I have faith in Lee. No. The Pegasus is coming. No. No. Where are you, Pegasus? That better fucking be you. Lee, thank you.
Galactica Pegasus. Get your FTL up and ready and we'll take care of the rest. All right, fire up that main battery.
He is his father's son.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
Steady as she goes, take us right into the center.
Won't last long in there.
No.
You better not fucking die. I can't do this. Oh, the baby?
Maybe it's really me, but listen, we don't have time. We're going to the ships, and we're gonna get the hell off of this fracking planet.
Where's Casey?
Who's Casey?
Casey, she's my daughter.
Oh, God.
Evacuate the entire facility. I'll stay behind and set off the nuke. You should go as well, Caprica. And you. It's a place for you too.
For me.
Well, you were right and we were wrong. Should be some reward for that.
Your reward that you get to live out with the Cylons.
I just want to sit here and die.
You're gonna get your wish, Gaius.
Gaeta? I don't think that you're making the best choices right now, Gaeta. I mean, I only kind of understand his desire, but like...
Pegasus is taking a hell of a pounding, sir. I don't think she has a single plane in here.
Lee left all of his planes to guard the civilian ships. He knew this was a one-way trip.
No, Lee better not die. I can't...
I believed in the dream of New Caprica.
Gaeta, we all did.
No! Not him. He believed in the dream of Gaius Baltar. He led us to the apocalypse, and I turned out to be...
An idealist. There's no sin in that.
I don't know what's happening.
Everything you say about me is true.
Yeah. Okay.
But you have to listen to me. The Cylons have a nuke in this complex. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is getting off this planet alive unless I stop Deanna.
Then she'll kill me, or it'll be down to Mr. Gator. Either way, the human race dies with me. What are you waiting for?
Let's not.
I'm begging you, please.
That's not who you are, Gita.
You have one chance to put things right.
Stop that nuke!
Go!
Can he stop it? There's so many people I'm stressed about right now. I can't.
The commander, abandoned ship, all hands, abandoned ship, report to evac Raptors and jump to rendezvous.
Okay, you abandoned ship too, Lee.
I'll see you on the other side.
You fucking better. Lee, leave.
To commander.
Leave. Lee.
Thank you.
Honestly, this is the one good thing the Pegasus has ever done, really. I mean, except for they did help the Galactica that one time. Lee, I need you to get off this fucking ship. You better be off this fucking ship. You better be off this fucking ship. Lee. Better be off that fucking ship.
Casey, honey, where are you? Kate!
I knew you'd be back. I saw it.
Kara, I was hoping you were playing the long con here.
Say the words.
Let me take her.
Say them.
What words?
You know what I want. I want to hear you say them, and I want the rest of it.
What? I don't remember.
Fine, you win. I love you.
But it's a lie.
Say it again.
But it's a lie, so what does it matter? Words are nothing without feeling behind them. Sam, I need you to come kill this man. This is very disturbing. Or Kara, kill him, please.
Was it everything you thought it would be?
Not more. Never forget this moment.
She's about to kill. Someone kill this man. I'm fucking sick of this shit. Here she goes. Okay. Good. Yeah, fucking duh. Oh, thank you. A little bit late, Anders.
I'll explain later.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long fucking explanation. Is Gaius and Caprica gonna find the baby? Yep. Uh-oh.
It's her, Gaius.
It's our daughter.
First of God's new generation.
Kira.
God spared her.
How is this gonna go?
Kara, can I hold her?
No, I don't think he's gonna let you. Oh. Okay, he did.
No, she won't set off the nuke. Not anymore. Come on, guys. We have to go.
You're just gonna leave the baby? Oh, they're taking that ship back. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
All right.
Let's get to work.
I'm ready to go.
Okay. But just so you know, the baby is still on the planet with the Cylons. I don't know if you're aware of that, but...
Who's this? Yeah, I was gonna ask that myself.
This is Casey.
Is it her daughter?
Casey. Oh, my little girl.
I was fucking right. I knew she wasn't a Cylon baby, or else they would have cared more about her.
When the Cylons took her, I thought, but you saved her.
I mean, also, thank goodness, because that guy was creepy anyway. That's the last thing we needed. Alright, where's Lee? There's Ty. I think Ellen is alive. Oh, there's Lee. Oh, thank fuck. Okay. Reunion!
She didn't understand my orders.
Never could read your handwriting.
Aww. Thank God. He kept faith in.
Mission granted. You did it.
Yeah.
You brought him home, so.
Not all of them.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if Ellen is dead or if she's just on New Caprica. I'm sorry, Ty. Either way, you lost her. You lost something too, Starbuck. Even though she wasn't really yours to begin with.
We're still double-checking the fleet's manifests, but
They didn't make it.
doesn't look like Maya made it off of New Caprica. What about the baby?
She's alive, but on New Caprica.
I was there when the 2 guards left to take them to their ship. I'm so sorry. I let you down. I know that.
It was pandemonium. What could you have done?
No, you didn't. It's not your fault. This is bigger than us.
The Cylons have her now. People on the ship. We're back! Back on the ship. Back on the ship. That episode was great, honestly. Like, it feels so good to have a little bit of like a happy ending, right? Like we kind of won this battle. The war is still waging on, of course, but we won the battle and it feels good. Like I predicted, Gaius is still on New Caprica. He was not saved, unfortunately. I'm really curious as to where his story is going to go from here. If he's going to just fully turn on the humans and join the side of the Cylons, because he's kind of trapped there. As far as I know, he's the only human still left. I mean, Hera is half human, but unless Ty did not poison Ellen, but instead gave her some sort of sleeping thing and then left her on New Caprica, which I think is a possibility, then he's the only human left. I honestly don't know what would be better if Ty did choose to kill her in that way, that he, you know, just poison her, let her think she's going to sleep and then she's going to be okay. Or if he left her. I think leaving her would be crueler, even though it gives her a chance at life. It doesn't give her much of one, and it would be more to like assuage his own guilt over making that decision than to help her personally. I think that, but I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I do think that, and I mentioned this in the episode, I do think that Anders is looking at it in a very like black and white way. I think that it makes sense from his point of view that we can't trust this person. We have to get rid of her because she's willing to go to extremes to save her husband, but kill all of us in the process. Like that part of his thinking, I totally understand. And I'm not saying that he's wrong, that they can't trust her and that they have to do something about that situation. I do think that it's like I said in the episode, I think it's a lot easier to say that from removed sort of point of view, right? Like, if this was Kara in this situation, would Anders be able to be so, this is what we have to do about it? And, you know, I don't know. I don't know him well enough, but I doubt that anybody would have such a sort of hard stance were the person they were discussing, somebody that they were deeply in love with or deeply loved, you know? So I wish that Anders, they could have just worked that into the conversation, right? Like, I think that he could have said, look, I know that this is going to be really fucking hard for you, you know, maybe without the F word since it was on cable TV. But, like, I know this is going to be really hard and this is going to be difficult for you. And, I mean, he did kind of say that a little bit. Like, I know it might be hard for you to do it, so, like, I could do it for you. But I don't know. I think that there was a nuanced way to go about that conversation that did not happen, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily think he's wrong for wanting to have that conversation or for having that conversation or for giving Ty that ultimatum. I just think that a lot of times in Battlestar, people seem to see things only from their perspective and they don't step back and, like, try to look at it from a more, you know, unbiased perception or perspective. Yeah. Which, I mean, makes sense because people do that. Like, you know, I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you're guilty of it. Like, we're all guilty of that, you know, being stuck in our own perspective and having a hard time seeing out of our perspective into someone else's perspective. And so, like, it is a very human thing that they're portraying, but you just wish that that the characters could, like, just try to see it from another perspective. Like I mentioned in this same episode, in the past few episodes, with Gaeta and Gaius. And in the end, I think that Gaeta sort of did try, because of what Gaius said, to look at it a little bit from his perspective. But Gaeta is so wrapped up, and everybody is so wrapped up in Gaius being the bad guy, that nobody's stopping to think, like, what fucking choice does he have to be the good guy? He is surrounded by Cylons. Any choice he makes, they can literally hold a gun to his head and force him to make another choice. Like, it's just, like, I'm not saying that Gaius is completely innocent. Please do not, misinterpret that. Like, I think that Gaius has to take accountability for his own actions and what led him here as well. Make no mistake, he's not perfect. He's made some wrong choices. But I do wish that, like, just like I wish Anders could maybe see it from another perspective, I just wish Gaeta and some other people could look at it from Gaius's perspective. Like, I also talked about this during when Tyrell was having his rant about, I think it was Gaius, and, like, any of the people who put on the NCP uniforms and worked with the Cylons, and he was saying, you know, it's black and white, like, we'll hang them up, like, we'll kill them essentially for being traitors. And I mean, I don't know if Jammer's ever going to come clean about what happened, but if he does, I would hope that they could have a conversation about it and realize that there's more than two sides to a story, or there's more than one side to a story. There is even more than two sides, but, like, I think that it's easy to condemn someone for their choices when you don't agree with them. And again, I'm not sitting on a high horse saying that I haven't done the same thing. I'm human, I'm guilty of it as well. But I think that hopefully when we all have time to reflect on our choices and other people's choices, we can, from a more differentiated point of view, try to unbias our feelings about the situation as much as we can, because again, it's literally impossible to have an unbiased view as a human because of everything that's happened to us in our lives, forming the way that we think about the world and morality and X, Y, and Z. But we can at least try to remove that from ourselves as much as possible and just understand why someone might make the choices that they've made. It doesn't mean we have to agree with it. I am always preaching that. You guys know I can understand why a character makes the choices they make, even if I think those choices are wrong and I disagree with them. Like Ellen, like, I completely understand why she made every choice that she made. And I think that there was a lot of trauma in what she did, but she did it because she loved Ty. I don't agree with her selling out essentially 200 people to be killed for the love of this man that she has, but I can completely, as a person who loves other people, understand how she could have made those choices, right? So like that's what I think, and that's what I think that television really gives us a good opportunity to do, and storytelling in general, right? I think that's why there's such a resurgence, or such like a vehement love of villain characters these days, because we as humans, as people, are able to recognize why these people, you know, mythical or otherwise, might have made these wrong choices in the name of love or fear or X, Y, and Z, and like ended up on the path they're on. I think that, you know, we as humans have this great capacity for empathy, and I think that villains and stories really unlock that for us. And maybe that's why, you know, I so strongly feel for Gaius, you know? Like, you root for the hero characters. Of course, you're meant to, right? But in a way, a lot of hero characters are these sort of unattainable, like, perfect people that you can't fully relate to because they're too selfless or too X, Y, and Z, right? Like, we as humans, I think, and I'm not speaking for everyone, I'll just speak for myself here, find it much more easier to relate to a character that exists in the gray area that I'm always talking about of humanity. And I feel like I've gone off on a huge tangent. Sorry. I was an English major. I love stories. I love storytelling. Anyway, long rant about storytelling and characters aside. I really love the way that Battlestar does portray the very, very complicated emotions and feelings and actions of being a fully fleshed out human being, you know? Like, no one is perfect. Even our hero characters that we have, like Lee, Adama, Starbuck, that you could argue are sort of meant to be like put up on this pedestal of like, these are the good characters. They make the right choices. They make mistakes. They stumble. They fall. They fuck up. And they have to find their way back. And I think that that makes them all the more compelling of heroes to me, right? Because the more complex, the more complicated a character is, the more we can feel for them and we can see parts of ourselves in them. And I think that, unfortunately, in a hero's journey, you know, you have to go through these trials and tribulations. And I think that we've really seen Starbuck sort of struggle with that, and Lee and Adama, really all three of sort of the titular characters, or what I would consider the titular, like, hero characters of Battlestar. Protagonists, whatever you want to call them. They're definitely sort of put on that little pedestal and like placed as like, these are like the good guys that we're rooting for. But they've definitely all had struggles in this past few, or in these past few episodes in particular, like Starbuck with her whole storyline with Leoben, and just the struggle of really being trapped in this horrific, non-consensual relationship with this person who is just not listening to her, and he's trying to manipulate her and brainwash her to the point where she says, "I love you," which personally, like, I don't understand. And I said it during the episode, like, it's very obvious that her saying those words does not mean that she actually feels those things. Like, it was clearly a means to an end, to escape, to stab him, to get the fuck out, right? So, like, I'm not sure why his motivation is to get her to say something that she doesn't mean. I mean, he's obviously poised as, like, a bad character, right? Like a bad guy character. He is manipulating this woman. He is being very creepy. He's doing lots of things that are non-consensual. Like, he is... he's really fucking creepy, right? So I guess that explains it. But yeah, Starbuck is gonna have some trauma, you know, on top of all of the trauma that she already has from her entire fucking life, and going through a mass genocide of humanity just a few years ago, you know, in her timeline. So yeah, and now she has this trauma of thinking that this person is her daughter, and then discovering that it's not her daughter, that was just another manipulation tactic that Leoben was using to get to her. Anyway, I worry about Starbuck and how she's going to deal with this trauma on top of it. Like, I'm curious as to how Lee and Adama are going to move forward from where they are. I think that Lee is finding himself again and discovering who he is again, and I'm very proud of him for that. So I think that his arc will be a good one. Adama too, I think he finally feels like back at home. He is the captain of the ship. He is taking care of his people, and they are gonna find Earth, you know, like he's back on track to where he feels good about himself again, you know. I'm curious as to how Ty is going to deal with everything with Ellen and loss of his eye and getting off of New Caprica and all of that going forward. Just curious as to how, like, where we're gonna go from here in this story. I mean, to Earth, but like mentally and emotionally where the characters are going, I guess. I also want to take a second to talk about the Cylons and their conversation with Gaius in the episode where in the section of the episode where he was telling them, just leave, you know, like leave humanity to be humanity. And 3 is saying, what, so you'll tell your children the story of Cylons, and then they'll tell their children, and then at some point X amount of years down the line, they'll come and seek vengeance for their ancestors. One, if you do not want to be the villain in someone's story, you can change the fucking narrative by not being the villain. Like, you had a chance when you came to New Caprica to forge an alliance with humans, to stop being the bad guys. You had that chance. The Cylons had a perfect opportunity for that right there in that moment when they landed on New Caprica. And what did they choose? They chose violence, they chose fear, they chose death, they chose to continue being the bad guys. So it's frustrating. It's so frustrating to hear the Cylons be like, you know, oh, so you can tell people we're the villains, when they had the full power to change the narrative and they chose to keep being the villains. Like, yes, you will be viewed as the villains if you commit mass genocide, 1. 2, if you then, when you have the chance to change things because you've heard from people and you're sort of changing your entire worldview and outlook, to extend an olive branch, a hand of compassion, and be different. You had that chance and you threw it away. So, like, yes, you're going to be marked as the villains. Of course the fucking Cylons are going to be seen as the villains when you keep committing acts of villainy. It's like, sorry guys. I had to get that off my chest because that was just frustrating me. I'm also really curious as to where Gaius' story, I talked about this a little bit before, but where Gaius' story is going to go from here, where, excuse me, Hera's story is going to go from here, like just what is going to happen with that little half human, half Cylon baby, and Gaius and Caprica 6 and 3 and just everyone on New Caprica at the moment, and where they're going to go and what they're going to do, you know? Are the Cylons going to keep following the fucking humans? Like, once again, they could change the narrative, but they're not going to. Anyway, I think that that's probably all I have to rant about in this episode. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already and you're watching this on YouTube. If you're also, I forgot how to talk for a second. Also, if you're there on YouTube and you're watching this, you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon, which will be linked in the description down below. You can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries and the Resistance webisodes. That is over on Patreon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to, I don't know, go make a tea, try to declog. I hope to see you guys next time for more Battlestar. Until then, bye guys.